Hello again everyone and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've uploaded a vlog like this. For some reason this winter has been particularly hard on me. I have been getting sick every now and then I have to work. But everything is well now and hope everybody is also staying healthy and safe. So, what do you do if you're just like me who decided to sign a contract to work here in the United States in an area you did not exactly have an experience before? Or sabihin na lang natin, konti lang yung experience nyo. Why did I do it? And what did I do to prepare myself to somehow lessen my anxiety and my apprehensions after making that decision? On this vlog, this is what I'm going to talk about. Moving to a new country is overwhelming on its own. Hindi ko nga to first time na abroad pero I was still very overwhelmed. Deciding to work on an area that I have not exactly had an experience before is another baggage to hold. Now, I know in my previous videos, I did mention that I did have a previous bedside experience. And medyo matagal na po akong bedside. I was a bedside nurse for around 15 years. And counting. But different nurses comes with different personalities because we are all human. And knowing myself, I was still very nervous coming in as a sort of a newbie in the chosen area I agreed to work in. Why did I do it? There were just a variety of factors that kind of just added up. But the main factor that I would say was time. So number one, I initially applied with an agency, but unfortunately after a year and a half, more or less, of processing time, my I-140 was declined or was denied. So that was really, really frustrating and really, really disheartening. So I had to think about not wasting any more time. Number two, my visa screen, which I previously renewed, is expiring again in another 3 years. So parang sayang na naman yung oras, sayang na naman yung financial resources. So I really have to think about getting here in the US as soon as I can in a reasonable, if reasonable naman yung area that I'm gonna be working in. Number three, I need to take the IELTS again. And I want this to be the last time as my IELTS just kept on expiring. That was the third time that I was to take my IELTS again. And sayang yung scores kasi my scores were actually medyo matino but it just kept on expiring like I said. So that was another factor. Number four, it was still retrogression. So priority dates I think was around 3 years behind at that time. So there were opportunities but I would say it was less as compared to what the nurses have now. At mas mabilis din yung processing time now. So that was a big factor too. Number five, I need to get better services for my daughter who was already diagnosed with autism at that time. So for autism, early intervention is vital and is the key for their improvement. So I really, really need to push coming here in America as soon as we can. And I would say the last factor was I was just getting burnt out of working for almost 2 years straight in a COVID area, in an acute care COVID area. It was particularly difficult for a lot of nurses and personally for me because I started to work in a COVID unit after I gave birth to my son. So, nanganak ako ng November 2019. I went back to work around last week of February. And the unit that I was working in was not yet COVID but they were beginning to transition to a COVID area. I requested na can I be assigned somewhere else na walang COVID patients because I was still breastfeeding and my son was around 3 months. Initially, they said yes and then after 2 weeks, I got the memo that I have to start working in a COVID unit because I was in generally on a good state of health. So yeah, that was hard on me and I was just getting burned out and I would like to try something else. So those were the factors. I think there were several more, but those were the main factors why I decided to have that decision. I came up to that decision of accepting the offer that was given to me to work in the particular area that I'm working in now. Do I regret it? Not entirely. There were definitely pros and cons, and I have to discuss that on an entirely different video. There are definitely things that I wished I knew and I learned early on the process. And this is what we have to learn from each other, and this is what good about social media platforms is that we can actually share our experience and learn from each other. But I do know at that time that I had to prepare myself before coming here in America. Since for most of my nursing career, I was in acute care, medical, surgical acute care, I read about what it's like to work in an inpatient rehabilitation because that is what I signed up for. Always a good advice for all nurses is to read about the area offered in your contract. Read your contract. Read it again and again before deciding to sign up. I also look into online resources such as, but not limited to, the company's website, read about their portfolio, and see if there are any photos or any videos that I can utilize or learn from because I am a visual learner. Medyo kailangan kong makita. mas natututo ako in that way. Seeing that the website has a video and an online tour of the facility definitely helped a lot. So disclaimer, I am not an official spokesperson of the company. This is solely as per my personal experience and the purpose of sharing information that is allowable for public disclosure and in compliance with my work's social networking policy. This is all with the permission of the Human Resources Department. So in the website, there is a brief video showing the patient's room and the nurse's station, which are familiar setup from the previous hospitals I worked in. Both to sa Philippines at sa Middle East, it's pretty familiar, it's pretty similar. The therapy gym and activities of daily living suite, which looks like an apartment setting, is distinct for rehabilitation facilities. It is integral part for the patient's treatments kasi for each individual, there is a set schedule all throughout the day that they would work with their physical therapists and occupational therapists to achieve their goal. So since yung mga goal ng patients in rehabilitation facilities is to go back to their optimal function, meron silang activities of daily living suite na para siyang apartment. And you would see meron siyang washer and dryer, meron siyang bed, meron siyang fridge. So they would know how to move around after kung ano man yung condition na meron sila. The facility also has a dialysis room for patients needing treatment or to continue their sessions while they are still being admitted on the rehab facility. So whether you'll be working in rehab, skilled nursing, LTAC, acute care, sa amang area yung you decided to sign up for, there are tons of online resources available and there are so many social media platforms out there such as group of nurses who are actually willing to answer your questions and hopefully learn from their previous experience so that hopefully that can actually help with the anxiety of the unknown and the unexpected in your transition here in the United States. I know all our journeys are different. Kanya-kanya tayo ng reasons and goals in life why we actually want to come here in the United States. But let us keep on encouraging each other and learning from each other without actually compromising the truth and the realness that comes with the process when it comes to coming here in the United States, especially those who are just on the beginning steps towards your goal of coming here in America. And that's it for this video. I hope I would really be able to upload yung next coming videos ko about the pros and cons of coming here, my experience in transitioning here as a direct hire nurse. I'm really hoping I could do it as soon as I can. I hope you are all staying safe. God bless, and till next time, thank you for watching. Bye.